which Overwatch heroes can make me drip the most? This is a question that I've wanted the answer to for a long time. A lot of heroes are recognized due to their exquisite drip alone, while others have drip equivalent to Adam Sandler. So today, I'm going to be ranking each Overwatch hero based on how much drip they have, and how appealing their fashion is overall. So let's start off with a hero that can be instantly recognized by her delectable drip. First up we got D.Va, and where the hell do I even start? D.Va's got one of the most unique styles in the entire game. She's pretty much just a walking billboard for her sponsorships she's got placed all over her gamer onesie. Speaking of sponsorships, this video is sponsored by me. Become a channel member so I can make money, please. Anyways, D.Va's outfit is actually not too complex in it being a simple onesie, but it's all the Easter eggs that D.Va's place on her onesie that makes it seem complex. And let me just mention, when talking about these characters' drip, I'm referring to mostly their original skin, since a lot of heroes have different styles with different outfits. But that's not to say I won't occasionally speak about another skin of theirs. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the tier list off by placing D.Va into C tier, since it's just a little casual fit. Next up we got Doomfist. Now my rating may confuse you a little bit, since the only thing Doomfist seems to be wearing is his pants, along with his sandals? Whatever the fuck those are. Now I don't know why, but those specific style of pants are very appealing to me. First off, they make his leg look absolutely fucking massive. And second off, they're very unique looking. Those ropes or ribbons or whatever really bring the fit together, especially that one on his arm, even though it is most certainly cutting off circulation to his bicep. So I'm gonna give Doomfist a C tier, because I don't think his style is any better or any worse than D.Va's. Next up is JQ. Now JQ is a warrior. She's got armor here and there with the shoulder pad, wrist guard, and occasional spike or two placed about, but she's also equipped with the single best piece of female apparel in history, the crop top. And to match the crop top, she's got the honky tonky shorts. Now on a normal woman, this would be no big deal, but Junkrat is no normal woman. In fact, she isn't even real, but we're going to ignore that and pretend that she is. Everything about JQ's style of fashion is appealing to me. So in order for us to move on, I'm gonna end this discussion here. Where the fuck are you, bitch? Oh, there she is. JQ gets S tier. Next up is Mauga. Now I know I praised Doom about his no shirt sense and style, and Mauga also has a similar thing going on, but Mauga is inferior to Doom in my opinion. Like there isn't anything catching my eye about Mauga's fit of the day. He's just got some bland ass pants on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place Mauga into F tier. He could definitely use a fashion designer. Next up is Orisa. I'm pretty sure the only piece of fabric on this woman's body is that one cloth covering her gooch. There's not much to say about Orisa. The armor on her base skin is bland as fuck, so that doesn't give her any points. The only thing slightly interesting about Orisa is her horns. Like what kind of shenanigans does she get up to with those? Orisa, F tier. Next up we got Ramattra, and Ram's similar to Orisa in a way, where he's not only a robot, but he also lacks in having much real clothing. But I will say, the clothing he does have on him are stylized in a way that makes him stand out. Like that little turtleneck he's got, that turns into two little capes on both sides of him, is honestly a cool idea. Then again, he's still a robot, so I'm gonna give him a D tier. Next up is Reinhardt. There's something so satisfying about Reinhardt's armor, and all the little details built into it. Like the little lion decals carved into his armor just adds to Reinhardt's overall badassery. And even though Rein's armor is pretty bland looking in the grand scheme of things, I think it fits him in what his character stands for. He's a warrior. He's not meant to stand out. Although when he stands, he most certainly goes out into the stratosphere due to his bewildering height. Overall, Rein has a fantastic sense in fashion. So I'm gonna place Homeboy into B tier. Next up is Bubba, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've never actually fully examined this dude's drip. Mostly because whenever I look at him, I start to drip myself. Bubba is in the nicest way possible a drip peasant compared to a drip king. His colors are bland, his armor is bland, and nothing on his fit really stands out other than that massive ass fucking stomach. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to place this beautiful bastard into F tier. Next up is Sigma, and I know I've been giving the heroes shit so far for their armor being bland, but I think Sigma's bland armor makes sense compared to the others. It's mostly just white with a hint of green here and there, and I think it adds to Sigma's futuristic vibe he's going for. And you can't talk about Sigma's drip and not mention the one feature that makes all of us drip ourselves, his grippers. And if you want to see a more in-depth breakdown of Sigma's and every other hero's feat, watch this video. But as for his drip, I think Sigma earns his place in B tier. Next up is Winton Overwart. And let me just say something. I got a massive problem with this monkey man. Winton is the biggest Overwatch glazer of all time. He's got the Overwatch logo on his armor for Christ's sake. Like I know he's the leader of Overwatch or whatever, but that doesn't mean he isn't still the goofiest glazing goober in Overwatch history. Not to mention his armor is bland as hell. So enough with the Winton slander. I'm placing him in D tier, cause it's not absolutely horrible. Next up is Reeking Ball, cause I know this fucker reeks. Absolutely no drip. His ball is bland, he's an ugly piece of shit, and the only place he belongs is F tier, although he does look good as fuck in that photo. Hammond quite literally has zero redeeming qualities. So, moving on. Let's talk about Zarya. If we're referring to Zarya's basic original skin, I would place her in D or C tier, but I want to talk about a specific Zarya skin in particular. This one. This skin single-handedly makes me want to play Zarya, which is rare because I don't play tank, nor do I play boring-ass heroes like Zarya. But everything about Zarya's daddy issue skin, gothic skin, is just superb. I could spend 20 minutes dissecting everything that's great about this skin, or I could just save you the time and place her in S tier. Next up is Ashe, and I may be a bit biased here due to the fact that most people around me tend to dress similar to Ashe, although certainly not as snazzy as she does. Ashe has a very unique and honestly fabulous style going on. She's got the southern drip mixed with the midwestern business attire suit. Ashe straight up looks like what I'd imagine Dutch Vanderland's wife to look like, but if I ever found out that Dutch was risen her up, I'd have kicked him off the cliff way before John even thought to. God damn it, Dutch. I'ma stop rambling. Ashe is going in S tier. She certainly has the best drip so far. Next up is Bastion, and let me set this straight. Bastion has no drip. His collars are more bland than I am when selecting what to eat at a restaurant. He's just a basic robot, but there is one thing that keeps Bastion from going in F tier. His bird. This beautiful twat makes Bastion not an eyesore to look at. Then again, the bird isn't too crazy. If he was a brighter, more elegant bird, then I would consider ranking Bastion higher. But I'm gonna put Bastion in D tier, and D tier is much feather than F tier. Kill me. Next up is Cassidy, cause good lord do I perform some sins looking at this man. He's got the assless chaps paired with the beautiful badass motherfucker belt, and don't forget the Colt Python this dude carries. You never fuck with a man carrying a Colt Python, even if it shoots dingleberries sometimes. Call that shit the Colt Pea Shooter. The most recognizable thing in Cassidy's attire has to be the red poncho he wears. Combine that with the beautiful John Marston looking stalker hat, and you got the perfect American build. Now that you got that picture in your head, look at this. Cassidy earns himself an S tier. Next up is Echo, and I really don't know what to say about her, since she doesn't even have any clothes on. Like, what is she even supposed to be? Like, I get she's a robot, but like, all she is fucking white. That sounded a bit racist. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put Echo into F tier by default. The woman is quite literally nude. Next up is one of the most recognizable heroes in Overwatch, Genji, and that's because the person who designed Genji was off their rocks. Genji's drip is unmatched. He's literally a cyber ninja, and that is perfectly shown with his design. The basic white and gray suit combined with the light green strips placed throughout his entire set of armor makes Genji instantly recognizable. Hell, back before I started playing this cancerous game, I knew who Genji was just by seeing a picture of him. Genji's design is nearing perfection, and for that I'm gonna put him in A tier. I reckon he could drip a little harder. Next up we got Hanzo, and as nice as his base model skin is, we're not going to be talking about that today. Instead, we're going to talk about the sole reason I wanted to make this video in the first place. Hanzo's Scion skin. I am a slut for Overwatch heroes in suits. Now that I think about it, Doomfist has a suit skin. Whatever, he's staying where he is. I feel like Hanzo's Scion skin perfectly encapsulates how Hanzo would look in a John Wick movie. I would honestly be more intimidated by suited Hanzo than any other character in that franchise, even the boogeyman himself. Hanzo has no business looking this ready for business, so let's get down to business and place Hanzo where he truly belongs. S tier. Next up is Junkrat, and as promised in the last tier list, Junkrat's going straight back where he belongs. F tier. Because take a look at this man. I don't even want to break down his drip, because I would genuinely start to drip tears. Let me just put it this way. Junkrat is an ugly, loopsy loving, lackluster loser that deserves nothing but eternal sadness. Okay, that was a little mean. He isn't that bad. He just happens to be the ugliest fucking specimen I've ever laid my eyes upon. Alright, moving on. Next up is Mei. And here's the thing. It is impossible for Mei to be drippy, because if she had drip, it would just freeze. That sounded funnier in my head. Anyways, I actually fuck with Mei's drip. She's got that winter vibe going on with her fur coat and boots. And if you've ever worn a fur coat, you know how comfortable them bitches are. And for a nice little extra detail, Mei has a little snowflake decal on her head that really ties the fit together. So I'm gonna give Mei a solid B tier. Next up is Pharah. And Pharah by far has the best looking armor in the game. Maybe not the most stealthy, but I guess you don't need stealth when you're in the air sending nukes down on your victims, similar to Japanese citizens roaming the streets in southwestern Japan on August 5th, 1945. But anyways, I really like Pharah's fit. The main armor being blue while contrasted with the hints of yellow really help Pharah stand out. So I'm gonna give Pharah an A tier. Next up we got Reaper. Now I'm going to ignore the fact that every time I look at this man, I think of a school shooter. So Reaper has a pretty cool fit going on. I like the black on black contrasted with the red shells attached to his belt, and also the subtle red accents on his boots. And although he low-key looks like Batman, if Batman wasn't allowed within 50 feet of a school, I think the cape really brings the fit together. So I think Reaper deserves a spot at A tier. Next up is Sojourn, and I really enjoy the simplicity of Sojourn's design. She's got the casual athletic shirt and beautiful booty skin tight shorts, while also rocking a dope ass military jacket. Everything about Sojourn's outfit screams I will rail you the second she lays an eye on you, but not in the way you think. Although I think Sojourn is overall a 9 out of 10 on the drippiness scale, there is one thing that ruins it for me. Now if you've ever seen the movie Step Brothers, more specifically the scene in Step Brothers where the kids force Will Ferrell to eat moldy dog shit, did you notice how the dog shit is white? Well, every time I look at Sojourn's dreads, I can't help but imagine that she's got 5 pieces of moldy dog shit glued to her head. So just because she has traumatized me, I'm gonna have to give Sojourn a B tier. Next up we got Soldier 77. Now every time I look at Soldier, I always compare him to Homelander, and let's be honest, Soldier would absolutely wallop Homelander if they were to fight. But this video isn't about fighting. I already made that tier list. Let's dissect Soldier's drip real quick. He's got that dope ass jacket fully customized to him, where his muscles are somehow fully defined like it's a goddamn muscle suit. He's got the classic black tactical jeans, that way he can run like the Flash. By the way, why is it that one of the oldest fuckers in the Overwatch lineup is the only one that can sprint? But anyways, paired with the main outfit, Soldier's got some tactical gear placed throughout his body, such as a pistol that I'm 90% sure is fake, and he's also got a few straps to hold his helix rockets. Overall, Soldier's fit is very convenient in a way where he can easily get to the items he needs quickly. So I'm gonna give him an A tier. Next up is Sombra. Now I may be a little biased, not because I've stooped low enough to play this wretched woman, but because pink and purple are my favorite colors. So Sombra's got this unique looking coat on with purple stripes and accents throughout that really make it pop. And I can't tell if the rest of her body is one giant onesie or if her skin is just glowing pink and purple. And if that's the case, that's probably a sign of like stage 11 cancer or something. So I'm sure you already know where I'm gonna rank her, but if not, allow me to show you. Sombra's going straight into S tier. Next up is Symmetra, and Jesus Christ, is Symmetra drippy. She knows what she's doing with that outfit. First off, she's got the high socks on. They got you feeling like... And then you look at her top. It looks like a little basic shirt at first, until you get past her pelvis, and then it turns into a 3-sided cape that really makes you feel like... So I'm gonna have to give Symmetra an S tier, cause Lord have mercy. Next up is Torbjorn. Now I could go 2 different ways when talking about Torbjorn. I could bully him into the ground for being half a foot from the surface, or I could just talk about his fit and completely ignore his height. And to be honest, I think Torb deserves a break from the slander. So let's talk about his fit. Torb looks like a biker. Like he's got the classic biker attire, such as the jeans, shirt, and gloves, but he's also a mechanical engineer, and a pretty badass engineer I might say. Overall, Torbjorn's fit looks near perfect for what he's going for, so I'm gonna give Torb a solid B tier, and this may very well be the highest Torbjorn ever gets on the list. So, if you've been waiting, take it in now. Next up is Tarser, and if Genji isn't the most recognizable hero, Tracer most certainly is, cause you can spot those blinding orange tights from a mile away, and you can spot the chub that forms every time I see Tracer from a meter away, since it's so small. Other than the obvious orange pants, the other main part of Tracer's outfit is her coat, and it's not anything too special, just a basic little coat, but I think it plays its part in tying together Tracer's outfit perfectly. So I'm gonna give Tracer an S tier. Even if the fit's not the best, Tracer's still one of the most recognizable heroes in Overwatch. Next up is Venture, and I'm gonna try really hard this time to get Venture's pronouns correct, because once I start yapping, I tend not to think about it. Now although Venture has a lot going on with their outfit, dude, I wrote down fucking her in my notes, goddammit, I just really don't like it. The collar colors are bland and the style of clothing really just ain't for me. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about Venture. I'm just going to place them in D tier. Next up we got Widow, and this actually might surprise you, but in my opinion, Widow's fit really ain't too drippy. Don't get me wrong, every time I gander at Widow, I become drippy, but that's not all due to her attire. I will say, the latex suit she's wearing really helps in defining her important aspects, if you will, but I just don't think they look as good as they should. Then again, the drip is most certainly still present, so I'm gonna give Widow a B tier for bouncing booty cheeks. Moving on to the support heroes, and if you saw the previous tier list, you would know that the supports were pretty much all at B tier and above, so let's find out if they can keep that streak going. First up we got Ana Banana, and Ana's similar to May in a way that they both look ready to run a marathon around Antarctica. Ana's got so much drip on her, it's making my head leak of confusion. The colors are pretty bland, although she does have that beautiful blue coat, and when you see Ana's face, you can instantly recognize her just based off of her eye patch and eye tattoo alone. But if we're looking at Ana's outfit as a whole, it's nothing crazy. So I'm gonna give Ana a solid C tier. But you know who's not going in C tier? Baptiste. Because although his fit is pretty bland, the teal parts of his armor make him stand out. And if the teal wasn't already great, he also has that orange bandana poncho looking thing hanging over his shoulder. What can I say? Blue and orange is just a great color combination. So I'm gonna give my boy a B tier. Next up we got Brog. Now Broget's drip is very appealing to me, mostly because she is like a miniature Reinhardt that just so happens to have a child tutor between her legs. Like, her armor is absolutely gorgeous due to the fact that it's got the same chrome features mixed with the hints of yellow. She also has the yellow cape that ties everything together perfectly. So without spending a decade talking about Brig, I'm gonna go ahead and put her in S tier. Next up is illari. I feel bad for illari since I've been throwing shade on her the past couple tier lists, but she's got the chance to redeem herself here, and redeem herself she does. illari looks like a fucking Greek goddess. She has the most beautiful armor in the game by a massive margin. The gold bits on her outfit paired with the occasional red sections provide a combination of one of the most beautiful armor sets I have ever seen. The drip is out of this world. Her earrings are also spectacular. So without fanboying too hard, I'm going to put illari straight into S tier above everybody else, because she makes everyone else's drip look like a middle school fit of the day. Next up is Kiriko. Kiriko. I feel like I've been talking about queefing way too much recently. I gotta tone that shit down. Kiriko has one of the most unique styles I've seen from a video game character. She's got the Japanese robe paired with the red leggings and cape, while also having those badass kunai. The only strange thing about Kiriko, in my opinion, is the cat ears on her head, but at least they're paint matched. Kiriko has a recognizable and overall solid style to her, so I'm gonna give her an A tier. Next up is Lifeweaver, and I know I completely glazed Lifeweaver in the last video, but let me remind you for the 700th time that I am not homosexual in even the slightest terms. Now that you understand, hear me out. I would suck Lifeweaver's dick. That came out wrong. I mean, holy fuck does Lifeweaver have some drip. I don't know why, but whenever I look at Lifeweaver, I get the vibe of a stellar masseur. I would trust this man to massage any part of my body. I mean, take a look at him. He looks official as fuck. Lifeweaver's got that relaxation drip, and I respect it. So I'm gonna give him an S tier, right behind illari, whatever the... Next up is Lucio. Now I know I was praising other heroes that had vibrant colors prominent on their outfit, but blue and green together has just never been appealing to me. Every time I see those two colors together, it makes me think of a little kid. And when you pair Lucio's height with those colors, you got an infant who's really good at roller skating. So as upsetting as this is to a lot of you, I'm gonna place Lucio into D tier. Next up is Mercy. And can I just ask, why do we not have a skin for Mercy where she's in a suit, like in the thumbnail? Better yet, why doesn't every single hero have a suit skin? Suit skins are just superior. But anyways, Mercy's another hero that you can recognize without even playing the game. She's supposed to be an angel, and her outfit perfectly encapsulates that. She's got predominantly white clothing paired with a little bit of gold to really sell the angelic look. And I hope it isn't against God to bust to an angel, because if so, then I'm going into the deepest, darkest pits of hell. Mercy, S tier. Next up is Mama Moira, and Mamma Mia is Moira's drip underrated. Sure, it's a little basic, but it's got some unique features to it, such as the purple and gold jizz tubes that are shown throughout her body. Like, Moira's fit isn't too crazy, I just think it's different than most, and I respect that. So I'm gonna put Mother Moira into C tier. Last up we got Zenyeasta. Now Zen's supposed to be a monk, right? The only problem is, he's the ugliest fucking monk that's ever been spotted by human eyeballs. The funny thing is, that statement probably made someone laugh their ass off, while also being the most offensive thing in history to another person. The duality of man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't like the monk's style. Call me whatever disgusting names you want. Zen's going straight into F tier where he truly belongs. And that's the delusionally dandy drip tier list. If you enjoyed this video, consider clicking another on screen. There's not too many tier lists left until the grand finale, so leave some suggestions in the comments and maybe I'll pick it. Also, thanks for 8,000 subscribers. Love you, Schnookies. See ya.